What's YouTube? This is Collect Pokemon and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I recorded a video. I've actually recorded some video, but I never got around uploading it because in those videos, my energy level was just so low that I just didn't feel like it's me, and I just didn't want to just, I'm just uploading for the sake of uploading. But yes, I did film some video opening clay burst, and it was very sad because it was such an expensive booster box and I actually got nothing at all. That video never got uploaded because I just felt that it wasn't me. So as things settles, and I am a little bit more free, I have a bit more energy left in me, I'm gonna film some video, and today we're gonna jump right into the Japanese Pokemon card market. I've been observing a lot of PokeTubers, and there hasn't been a lot of talk on Japanese market, and to really analyze, there hasn't been one of those really good analytical video as to what is happening. Everyone is saying it's crazy, this is crazy, this card is crazy, but what I believe is happening behind the scene is going to be in this video. So in this video, I'm just going to go all out. I'm going to tell you what I've been observing, what I've been doing, and what I have learned in the past few months with the Japanese Pokemon card market. Without further ado, if you're new to this channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're old to this channel, make sure the notification bell is on and let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Alright, so the Japanese Pokemon card market has gone on steroid in the past 2 to 3 months. Let me give you an example. I'm not sure if you guys remember a card called Alola and Friends. That one, in the black box. So, Helios actually went to Japan and we got some people to sell it for us in Japan. A PSA 10 graded version was sold, or my PSA 10 version, we sold it back in Japan for around 600,000 yen. You can use Google to yen to USD to translate that. 60,000 yen. Okay, so this was around a month and a half ago. Currently, the buyback price, so the buyback price was 60,000 yen. 600,000, sorry, 600,000 yen. Now the current buyback price is around 900,000 yen in 1.5 months. This is how crazy the Pokemon card market is in Japan. And there is people who are saying that it's a bubble. This bubble is going to burst. And to be very honest, if you're looking for a conclusion, the conclusion is the market is still going up. It's not going to burst. Okay? There's nothing that is going to burst. There's only currently many undervalued cards that will chase up to that 1 million yen range at a graded PSA 10. And in this video, I'm going to tell you my thoughts. The first thing is new player. When new player enters the playing field, usually what they usually do is they will look at the newer sets, they're going to play, they're going to enjoy it, and once they realize that they have no time and all they have is money, they will look for older cards. This increases the demand of older cards, and then therefore the supply dries up, price gets pushed up. This is a very logical explanation, but why is it that the Scarlet and Violet era is so much different to the previous era? Why is it that these new players are different to the other new player that were new player? Now the idea is the Scarlet and Violet set has blown up in Japan. When I say blown up, is that every single waifu cards, every single set is double, triple MSRP. While we buy it at double, triple MSRP, there are some lucky few that through the lottery system in the Pokemon Center website can actually get a lot of these cards at MSRP. And if they can't get it at MSRP, what they could do is they could open it up, and if they are the golden ticket winner, or just think about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, if they win that SAR Miriam, that SAR Iona, they can sell it. And that's a lot of them. That's what they do. They would sell it. But before they sell it, they would obviously grade it first and so on, right? But when they sell it, they generate a lot of money. Where do you put this money? You'll start buying up older Pokemon cards. And because of this, hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people do this. So what happens to the older SAR, SR, or higher rarity cards, or nicer looking cards? Well, obviously they're going to get bought up. And because they're getting bought up, the price will definitely shoot up. And because they're shooting up, this will involve the second group of people called investor, which I'll talk about later. But because of this set of new players are very, very different. Their concept of Pokemon card value is very, very different to the traditional type of new player, where when you're new, you want to spend the least money, you want to enjoy the game, you want to play the game. But these new players that are coming in, the Scarlet and Violet era, they are getting that taste of the money, the profitability of Pokemon cards. And because they can profit from it, these money gets put in back into the hobby. And that's why we see this flow of money, large flow of money into the hobby. So that's reason number one. The second group are the investor. You can say they're the scalper, the evil investor, these group of people. But these investors are very different to the investor that has been around for the past 3 years. Very different to the scalper who buys Happy Meals and scalp Pokemon cards from kids. These are much more knowledgeable scalper. These are much more passionate scalper or investor in Pokemon. First, you need to understand PSA. PSA has grown significantly in Japan. Its recognition has been very, very popular in Japan. So much so that a PSA 10 graded card is considered to be amazing. A BGS graded 10 card, Gold 10, is considered to be maybe even worse than the PSA 10. BGS 9.5 might as well be a raw card. So the recognition of PSA graded card has been praised in Japan. And because of this, a lot of these scalper and investor would buy cards, buy up the raw cards, send it to PSA, hopefully, and most likely they'll get a PSA 10, and then they can sell it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the price. And card stores that buy back cards are much less picky. You will see a card that is listed at a buy price of 600,000 yen, for example. If it was PSA 10, they'll give you 600,000 yen. If it was not graded, it was a raw card, even though it looks near mint and it's possible, likely, that it's going to get a PSA 10, they would say, oh, we can only pay you 400,000 yen. So that's why people thought, hey, it is worth that money, that $15, that $50, the $40 plan or whatever, to send it to PSA, grade it, when it comes back, is significantly more valuable. And because of that, they can use that money to buy and repeat this process over and over and over again. For every card graded PSA 10, they could be 4 or 5 times more expensive, and they could use that money to buy 4 or 5 more pieces of cards that they can send to PSA 10. Over time, this would loop a much larger, significantly larger amount of money and funds into the hobby. Because of this, the whole entire market of cards will rise in price. And that is the idea of how the investor right now is causing such a huge uptick and movement of the market. And card stores are happy to buy and sell, buy and sell. People who are buying the PSA 10, they're like, oh, it's really worth it. Who are the people that are buying the PSA 10? Well, they speculate that the whole market will grow. And I think that's the reason why the entire market is moving. It's just that there is simply a lot more funding and money into the market. I did an experiment, and I'm going to tell you what I did. Okay, so 2 months ago, I made a video talking about waifu cards and some waifu cards that you might have missed out. And these are the character rare cards, including the Clefairy, the Liaza, and I think the one with Blaziken, and the one with the sheep. I forgot the name. After I made that video, actually around the time I made that video, I did a large purchase. I bought out around 130 Liaza, and that cost me $1,300 US. Okay, 1,300 USD for 130 Liaza. So that's around like what, $10 each. Okay. Now here's the thing: is it $10? Yeah, something along that line. And then I took them all to grade. Well, I chose around 100 of them and sent it to PSA. at the $15 level plan. And that would take me or cost me around 1,500 US dollar. Okay, the question is, how did I get the funding? How did I get the money for this? You're gonna say, hey, collect Pokemon. We're not like you. We don't have thousands and thousands of dollars sitting around just to grade. Oh, I know. I sold a Luigi Pikachu box for 3,125 US dollar. Okay, so I bought a Luigi box with 20 US dollar many years ago, kept it, sold it for $3,125. I bought 130 Liaza raw card from Japan for 1,300 US dollar, and I sent it all for grading, or 100 of them for grading at $1,500. If you are doing the math right, I actually still have 325 US dollar left for Mother's Day dinner. So that was great. Now, what happened was that after I bought out all the Liaza, people panicked. The market panicked. And whenever, anywhere have Liaza, people start buying them out. I actually just started buying the 130, and whenever there are more, other people will buy it out. And for the past 2 months, I've seen Liaza going up, 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 up in price. And so because of this is what happens to the card Liaza right now. As of filming of this video, a PSA 10 version is around 150 US dollar. And yeah, if you guys can see, you guys really like this. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, I've been showing this around. So I've got around 74 copies of PSA 10, and there are still some that I've sent for grading. Yeah, most of them were 10. There were some that have been damaged, even though it says it's near mint. So expect around 70% of them to be PSA 10. So what happened is that now each one of them is worth 150 US dollar. And given that I should have around 100, let's just say 80, yeah, I think I used the number 80 PSA 10, I've already gained $12,750. Easy, right? So it's not something that it's impossible to do. And I think that a lot of people in the Pokemon card market in Japan is doing the same thing. So imagine I make that $12,000. Half of it goes back into the Pokemon card market. That is a lot of funding eventually going into the market. And those funds will mean that other card price or other cards to be buy out and the price to go up. And that's pretty much what is happening. And this is pretty much why, you know, the whole market is going up, especially in the Sun and Moon era, because Pokemon has announced that they're going to reprint a lot of the Scarlet and Violet cards. And people are saying, oh, if you're going to reprint it, why am I buying it at a high price? Why wouldn't I buy things that are much older, that are good looking, older, less likelihood of reprints? And that explains the Sun and Moon era cards. That explains why many waifu cards, many alternative arts are going up in price. And I think that this price trend will continue to go up because, you know, there is so much excess money that is in the Pokemon card market right now. Yeah, that's that. Last but not least, card stores. Now, card stores are another part which plays a role in this investing market. You're gonna ask, hey, collect Pokemon. Yeah, you're right. Cards are going up in price, right? But who's buying it? You know, who's buying that Lily? Who's buying those Poncho Pikachu at like 2 million yen or 1 million yen? Who would ever pay that money? Here's the thing. Everyone. What do I mean by everyone? Mystery box. So Japan has been very, very popular recently with mystery box. What they would do is they would mix some really high-end cards and some lower-end cards, and people would buy mystery box. And obviously, the mystery box will benefit card stores, and that's why they're buying a lot of these PSA 10 graded cards, because they can make expensive PSA mystery box. You're gonna say, are people gonna lose money? Not necessarily, because the demand of these CHR, these secret rare, these full art cards are so high. When you buy into a mystery box, even the cheapest card, the crappiest card that would not make up for the cost that you pay for, is rising. And so people are speculating that it will continue to rise. And if it continues to rise, it's okay that you put in that money, because eventually it will be worth it. And that's the mentality that people have. And because of the excessive amount of funding, excessive amount of money that is in the Pokemon card market, I think that it is still enough for this thing to continue for another 3 to 6 months. And I think that that's going to be interesting to see what happens after that 3 to 6 months. Will we see a crash? I don't know. But this is the reason why we're seeing such large uptake. It's this whole ecosystem of new players, investor, the rise of PSA, and also the mystery box that card store are offering. This creates this cycle that draws a lot of money, draws a lot of funding into the Pokemon Japanese card market, creating this positive multiplier effect. And so, yeah, that's that. I can tell you that once a card rises in price, it's very difficult for it to drop. When will we see this market or this cycle to burst? I don't think it's going to burst. It would definitely stagnate and slow down, but I highly doubt it will burst, because people had extra cash. These cash are extra anyway. So I don't think that, in any time this market will burst. It might stagnate and it might not grow as much, but that's that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I actually made a long video. And thank you if you guys have been watching here. If you guys are new to this channel, subscribe, let your friend know, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, this is Collect Pokemon. Bye bye.